The first edition of Franchise Opportunity Summit Singapore was held on the 13th of April 2023. This franchise activation event was inspired and kindly sponsored by UOB. Judging by the feedback from this event, we see that franchising continues to be a very exciting investment opportunity. The key is to increase sharing and provide more multifaceted information to franchisees so as to demystify franchising as an investment opportunity and also help franchisees understand what franchising is about and what it takes to be successful in their entrepreneurship journey.
Hi, I'm Christopher. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm interested in franchising and also to explore a little bit more, hear from other community leaders in how they operate their franchise, new franchisees on what they are interested in when they take up a franchise. So this event is quite interesting for me. I hope you come too. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I'm here at the Franchise Expo, and what I love best is that diverse experts that are on stage sharing their true passions and the stories. So if you come here, you're going to get the real deal, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, everything.
So I came for the event, and so far it's very insightful. So I'm able to see from both perspectives, from the franchisor as well as franchisee side. It's very, very exciting.
A very warm welcome, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the esteemed Franchise Opportunity Summit brought to you supported by UOB. Alright, my name is Renee, I'll be your host for the afternoon. So I hope you guys are comfortable and of course had your refreshments a little earlier. Okay, so what I'm going to do is kind of walk through the agenda, give you guys an idea of what's going on. But before I do that, I want to say a very warm thank you to all of you guys for taking time out on this very busy afternoon to come and join us for this very fantastic franchise opportunity. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is talk a bit about the agenda and learn more about, so the agenda basically is to learn more about what other franchises who will share their franchising experiences. Okay, it's a really good opportunity there. Also hear from the franchise experts on what to look out for when finding a franchise. Also how to leverage UOB's banking solutions to help set up your success throughout your franchising journey. And learn about fresh opportunities in the market. And of course, to meet franchises to find out all about their franchising programs. All right? And for those of you who stay till the very end, Astrid has prepared a giveaway that will be very helpful for future investors to prepare their. Okay, introduce and to start things off, the person who made it all possible, of course, we'd like to introduce Sian Naidu, CEO of Astrid Consulting.
That clap was not for me, it was for you. You know what? Thank you so much for braving the heat and trying to come here and find the location, because honestly, the first time I came, I had some challenges, so I thank you from the bottom of my heart for making the efforts to make it here. Alright? And I also wanted to say, when UOB first asked me to run a face-to-face event, because this was supposed to be an online event, I was like holding and humming, and then they said, let's do it and make it a franchise community event. And I thought, hey, that's really great from coming from someone in the banking sector wanting to build a franchise community. I thought, wow, fantastic. I've got to give this, my best support. And so together with my team, we worked really, really hard to actually put out the message that there is this thing called the Franchise Opportunity Summit, and every day as we were getting sign-ups, we were signed a big relief because we were not sure if people actually would want to come and join us for this kind of event. And judging by the audience we have here today, I would say that a lot of us are interested in franchising as a business model, franchising as a potential to help build your entrepreneurship journey, or to help build your brand and add value as you bring your brands internationally. So that's exactly what Astrid is here to work with you, whether you're a franchisee or you're a business owner. Alright? And of course, I wanted to thank UOB for being the inspiration as well as the kind sponsor of this location, as well as the refreshments, and of course all the support and the shout outs that they've been giving us on your platform. So thank you very much, Wei. There are a couple of objectives we want to achieve today. Number one, unabashedly, I wanted to share with you the fact that Esteemed has always wanted to be a franchise community activator, and this gives me a fantastic affirmation that there are people who are, passionate about franchising, want to find out about franchising, and want to build franchising into their business models or maybe their careers or as a journey into entrepreneurship as a franchisee. So this gives us a lot of encouragement that we can continue to run future events. So please do keep us and like our Facebook and all that so that we can include you in all our future events and we can all build a community together. Number two, you will notice from the format that Renee has shared that the format is a little bit different. Today you're not going to hear about franchisors coming and standing in front of you and telling you my franchise is about this and you can earn this much amount of money and this is what we do and all that. And this is how much the franchise fees cost. Actually, we are not going to do that at all. What we're going to do is bring you value-added pearls of wisdom from people who have really gone the franchise journey. People who will share with you generously what they have learned in their path as a franchisee. We have somebody who has taken franchising very seriously and has made it legacy planning for his family. So Mr. Suhaimi is going to share with us later, actually very shortly after this, about why he franchised, what franchise really means, so that it gives you a different perspective. And of course, we will also have franchisors share with you who are considering franchising what to look for what they look for when they are considering franchisees. So it's not just about franchisees looking for an opportunity. It's also about franchisors looking at vested franchisees who are willing to go the extra mile with them as they build and grow their business. So I think this combination of franchisor and franchisee insight should actually give you priceless gems of wisdom as you embark on your franchise journey.
I'm a father of 5 and a grandfather of a 2-year-old kid. I started really young, don't ask how young, but young. Me Malays touch both hands also must get married already. So that's how it all started. So what I did was, having saved enough money, I decided to go into the system, and given the years of experience, I thought, why not go down and run the business? Because the way we work in the corporate field is working for people, but if you had done it for yourself, you'd be just as successful. That's what I believe in. So I took out the first piggy bank and I decided to open the first franchise called 18 Chefs, and the locations at Bedok. I've had it for past 8 years. It was the toughest of all franchise because it is labor intensive, and we learned the hard way out because of the fact that not only is it labor intensive, it's high inventory control, it's demanding in terms of service, front of house and back of house, to name a few. It was very popular 8 years ago, but since then they've decided to scale down the franchise opportunity, and the franchisor decided to keep it just for themselves. I think today they've got about 14 outlets and downsizing at several locations because of the inability for them to continue doing the system with labor-intensive situation that they face today. Just about a year after that, I entered into the subway system. Today I'm a proud owner of 4 subway locations and the 5th one coming in the pipeline. And I must say, with all the investments I've done, Subway has done justice to the money I've kept aside. It is what we call make the money work for you and not you work for the money, basically. At the investment cost about 300,000 to start one outlet. And just bear in mind, it's not about you wanting to go there, it's whether they want to select you. It is because of the background where I came from in operations management, as well as in organization that's sizable, and I know what is financial prudence. They've given me the opportunity to take that up.
Hello everyone, thanks for the invitation. I'm very happy to share my good experience with Coffee and Pub. So the first question is,
Yeah, or maybe I'll just start with the first question. So may I know why do you choose to franchise?
okay, actually I have been running childcare business since 2004. It was preschool kindergarten, but since very young, actually, I really like food business. So after doing so many years childcare business, I decided to take new adventure since 2018. Because for me, how to say, if I start a food business, I definitely don't want to from scratch because from the product taste, product price, and your customer range is not easy. I have been seeing so many people fail. It's true. So it's a long way to go. So I would rather to choose a good brand, established brand, and start a very have a very good new start. So this is why I choose Coffee and Tap. I have been seeing actually quite few brands and talk to them, but after a lot of consideration, I decided to choose Coffee and Tap because it's very good brand and it's halal certified.
Thank you very much, Shari. So it seems like you go with franchise because you can leverage on their branding. And what about Ramia? Why did you choose to franchise?
Okay, I chose to franchise because I was an educator for 8 years and still teaching while franchising business. And being an educator, we experience different things on the ground. And that's why I wanted to set up a school on my own. And the model of the franchise, I thought it was beneficial for me because we were actually going to embark on a journey we've never been experienced or exposed to. And managing people is one of the toughest things in early childhood, especially in preschools. And you work with them and you want to see how you can, when you get to manage them, it's a different concept, and a different experience. And thus with the drive and energy, I wanted to combine it together with my franchisee's expertise so that my journey ahead will be smooth, relatively smooth, and ultimately reaching a successful business model together with the franchisor. So ultimately that's why I chose to go with the franchise.
Thanks for me. And Alistair.
Maybe a bit of background. So I spent 30 over years as a finance and investment professional before I decided to come out, right? Instead of working for people, wanted to do something on my own. And having worked with some of the most recognizable global brands and franchises in banking, some for the wrong reasons, I've realized that it takes a lot to succeed. And so Heini, I'm quite sure what you heard from him actually resonates with a lot of people. It's incredibly difficult. You need a team. You need the years of institutional knowledge and collection, right, in order for you to have a reasonable chance of success. And so, for me, that was the reason why I went into franchising. It's about the acknowledgement that I have that limited. I may have my strengths, but there are other areas of which I fail, right? So you need a team, and that's ultimately why I chose franchising.
Yeah, thanks, Alistair. So what I hear is that it's also having a team, having the brand, having the community to build this. So maybe since Ramia has the microphone, so I would love to know, your passion for education, but there are so many like preschools or educational franchises and schools out there, but why preschool, why Red Schoolhouse? Yes.
The thing which attracted me to Red Schoolhouse was their values and their motto in raising young children and are compassionate leaders of the future. So nowadays, a lot of IQ is being put into nurturing young children, but in Race Schoolhouse, they focus a lot on EQ, the emotional quotient of the child, which enables them to be confident learners and successfully become confident children in the future and leaders as well. Aside that, they have comprehensive standard operating procedures, intensive training provided to all franchisees, including our staffs. And they go by the motto, it takes a village to raise a child. So I thought that the partnership and the strong hand-holding was required. And that was something I didn't really see in the other franchises which I met along the way. Actually, Race Schoolhouse was the last school, the last franchisor we met. And upon meeting Rachel, founder Rachel Goh, it immediately clicked because our values were aligned. And values are very important if you're embarking on early child education as a franchisee, because we are managing humans, little children. At the end of the day, they are the paymasters.
Sharing. I believe you shared a little bit that it's halal certified, but yes, but why kopi and tarts?
Okay, choose coffee and tart. There's a few factors I was in my consideration. So first of all, it's a halal certified. We have 30% of Malay friends, so it's a huge consumer base, and our Malay friends spending power really strong. They really love to learn and they can spend. So, so this first consideration. Then also the manpower issue, because everybody knows in Singapore, hiring staff is really very challenging. So when I talked to the boss, roughly I know we need 3 to 4 full-time, maybe 1 good part-time. So within this manpower issue, I think it's, should be okay. It's not a big issue. Then also another one is the shop size. The shop size for Kopi and Tart no need very big. It's not like our restaurant, we need 8 to 1,000 plus. So for Kopi and Tart, normally 350 to 500 size. So the rental cost is not too bad. Then this is very important. It's immensely cost. Another issue is their logistic. When I talk to the boss, I can feel he has a strong team and very supportive.
Okay, thank you. That was a lot of gems in there, trainings, the setup costs, the owners. And yes, I would love to hear from Alice. And why did you choose Body Street?
I chose it because I guess there are a few factors, right? And I called it the right factors, right? As in not R-I-G-H-T, but R-I-T-E. One is because it's reliable. I mean, it's a German. I represent a German franchise, and so I like to think that there's a sense of reliability, right? It's something that you want to offer to your customers. It was a business that was and a brand that obviously encapsulates innovation because of the use of tech. It's a tech-enabled type of business in terms of keeping fit. It checked the right boxes for me. The T is really about trustworthiness. I mean, it's the trust is, and I use this in a way that it's not like I can trust this brand, right? But it's actually what good is this business going to do for its customers? And I think that from a standpoint of improving health, it's a great trust business, right? And finally, it's E, something that Suhaimi himself also talked about, right? It's about employees. We need to find a brand. As I was looking through the many opportunities, you must try to find a brand that you can provide a progression for employees. If you don't, you will lose them, and if you don't have good employees, you never have good customers. So it's these amongst many are the 4 right factors. And just one other thing that I felt as I was looking at the brands that were available out there. And I never felt, and this is something that's, I guess, emotional, and so for some you may say that it's gut feel, right? But I never felt as if I was sold the business. I was never sold that, hey, you know, you must go after it. You know, we are a great brand and so forth, right? But I needed what I did what I had to do to know that this can work. So I sold it to myself, basically. And I think that's the emotional part that is not so much what are the criteria are.
Thank you so much, Alistair. So I think the common information that I felt from all three of the panelists is that it's also the values that are aligned, and then having that being sold, not being yourself, selling, in that sense, convincing yourself. So, and I think this has got to do very strongly with your relationship with your franchisor as well, because it's only when there is that trust that is that relationship. So, in your opinion, Alistair, what is the most important ingredient in this franchisor and franchisee relationship?
I would say it's a partnership. But when I say partnership, I don't mean in a legal way, right? Because in a partnership, you really have some obligations and responsibilities. But when I say a partnership between the franchisee and the franchisor, it's the spirit. And what's the spirit of partnership? It's the acknowledgement that there's something I bring to value to the table, and I'll give 100%. And same thing for the franchisor in that particular case, that they are also going to give their 100%. But ultimately, right, it's not fair. Someone have to do more. But it's the recognition that we're both giving up 100%. We're both giving 100%. So that's kind of I think it's important, and that begins with me recognizing what are my strengths and I guess knowing what I can, how far I can push, and at the same time acknowledging I do not have all the answers, right? I'm only new business, but the franchisor has been around for a much longer time, that I know when I should need to listen to them. So this spirit of partnership, I think, is important.
Okay, thanks, Alistair. I'm not too sure if we are running out of time. Okay, so maybe I want to move on a little bit in terms of, now you are already operating a franchising business, and what do you see is the biggest challenge in terms of the business as a franchisee?
I got two challenges.
Okay, yes.
One is upholding the brand's name, especially being in the education industry. The brand names plays a very huge part in any preschool business. The moment something goes wrong, the next thing you're on social media. Yeah, so upholding the brand name was very important. And also the next factor is the high turnover of manpower. Yeah, so these are the two challenges we face in early childhood.
Okay, thank you, Ramya. Thanks for sharing your information.
Right, so what I'm going to do now is going to ask a couple of questions to our panelists. Navigating a successful franchise unit is not easy. You all have managed franchises successfully. What do you think are the secrets of your success? Who wants to start? I'll start with ladies first, of course.
Thank you. I would say it's my village principle approach, where we would constantly create belonging. It's not franchisor telling franchisor what to do. Belonging, and then always expanding influence to prosper mindset. So how do we do that? Of course we do empowering people, a lot of camaraderie, and shared purpose that we have to ensure profit, and regular effective communication and continuous improvement, and then making sure that I provide shared resources and community events, and keep doing that. So I think that would be my secret tips.
Same question.
So I think for me, it's a very clear thing for the relationship between me and my franchisees. So I always tell my franchisees that me being in the franchise business, I'm here to work with my franchisee to make money, not to make money from them. So I think one good thing is that my team and I are very hands-on with our franchisees, and also likewise we also expect our franchisees to be very hands-on in the business with us when they sign up with us. So I think there's really no shortcut. So like what Suhaimi already mentioned, everyone will roll up their sleeves and then be part of this successful partnership.
Yeah, I guess for my side, it's about keeping the brand relevant from business perspective. Because I think many people share how tough the industry is. It's very saturated, a lot of competition. We've been around for 14 years right now. We are very proud of what we have done. But every day I wake up and I think that there's something that we can still do better. The moment that we are satisfied, I think that's when I think things will go a little bit more downhill. Then from a franchise management perspective, like Sydney has shared, we see our partners as long-term partners that grow the brand together. This means that we're not looking to extract value from the franchisees, but rather we're looking to work with the franchisees to create value. And we take a long-term, vested interest in their success.
I would echo everything that everyone said on this panel, but I would start with relationships. So the relationship between us as the franchisor and the franchisee is imperative with success. If you don't have your franchisees profitable, it will be very, very difficult to be able to convince anyone else of your success. So I think that's probably the most important. I think the other two things that I would talk about is having a unique product in the particular space that you're in, and a product that you, your customers, and also your franchisees believe in. I think that's really important. And the other one which I would talk about, which is maybe a little bit underrated, is the systems and processes that you have that support your business. It's all well and good to have a bunch of SOPs, but if they're not SOPs that are accessible, easy to use and accessed by your franchisees, then you may as well not have them. So having a system and process that really works and is embraced is also one of the most important things for success.
Thank you very much to all panelists. And now moving on to my next question. Are there some franchisee profiles more suitable or likely to succeed than others?
Sure. It'll be the hard one. I think there is. I think to Sahami's point before, owning a franchise is still owning a business, right? It's your business. And so I think the key to success for franchisees is being willing to roll up your sleeves. I always use the example with any of my staff to say that if I walk into one of our franchises and something needs to be picked up off the floor or the toilet needs to be mopped, I'm not shy to go in and do that myself. So I think, as franchise owners, we've really got to be prepared to understand that the buck stops with us. So rolling up your sleeves is definitely, I think, a key success factor. And I think one of the other things is passion about the business that you're in. I always tell my staff and also my franchisees, no matter what you do, there'll be days that you hate it, right? There'll be days that it's very, very tough. But if you have a passion and a love for the thing that you're doing, it makes those tough days just that little bit easier. And rest assured, if you are a business owner, there'll be lots of tough days, so you sure as hell better love it.
Yeah. I think there's no one-size-fit-all profile. I mean, we have different franchisees coming from different backgrounds, different experiences, different personalities, different strengths, and all of them succeed, but you can see common traits among them. Russell mentioned one. Ownership is very important, right? This is your business. You can't outsource this thing. Yes, you are part of a franchise system, but the business is still yours. We have franchisees before, if you know this service or anything that's not up to scratch, you can't just outsource and say, oh, let's wait for the franchisor to come, right? Deal with it yourself. Ultimately, you can see the success factors from the previous speakers as well, and from Suhaimi. They understand what makes their business successful. They understand their ROI. They understand it's about people. They understand how to motivate people. And these are the factors that will help a franchisee do well. Franchising and starting your own business is quite different. So if you want full autonomy, you want every creative control, then by all means go and start a business. But if you want to have something that has some proven track record, a bit of a support system, and whether it's training and what have you, join a franchise. But know how to work within the franchise and know how to execute it well. Know how to replicate the brand success. So, yeah, ownership, execution, and people, and everyone has been talking about it. Most of your problems will be on staffing all the time. So you have to know how to manage people. Yeah.
Actually, I think everyone has kind of covered one of the pitfalls and everything. So I think the main thing for me is that I think the franchisee has got to know what they're in for. So I mean, other than what Suhaimi mentioned, the finance part, you have enough money for the 3 months, or beyond that, if your outlets not making money, and also I think really it's just to be hands-on with the business. So I mean, during COVID, a lot of businesses closed and open. So I mean, I've also received a lot of franchisees who met me. Some of them are like bankers. They feel that they think that they have a pot of gold. They are willing to just pump in the money to open an outlet and then that's it. They thought it's just very simple. But as I go through the details, the manpower issues mainly, actually at the start, all the finance part they're all okay, the brand, the support, the marketing part, aspects they're all fine. But when it comes to the labor part, they're like, we got to find our own outlets. But actually, we do support in some ways, but we don't really find the manpower for them. So end of the day, you got to understand that the manpower problem is here to stay, and you got to know what you're in for.
Having a franchisee is of course good for all franchisors. Right? Make money, right? If you feel, oh dear, and we have to tango together. So what do I look for a franchisee profile? I think someone who has a balanced heart and head attitude. Because when you come in, yes, you put in a lot of money, and the back of your head, you will later. Or you pay your overheads, how fast your ROI. We want balanced heart and head, so that you are not too transactional, you are not too extrinsic, because in the long run, you will not have a joyful experience. It has to make money, so it's a shared purpose to ensure profit. It has to be joyful, purposeful, and so balanced heart and head.
Okay, I'm moving on to my final question for the panel. Franchise success is not guaranteed. Can you share some possible pitfalls? What should franchisees watch out for? Yes.
Okay. If you are alone running the business, fine. But if you're going to have more than you, then I would suggest both of you, or 3 of you, or more, sit down and be very clear who does what. What are the boundaries? Because the quarrels always come when you are starting to make money. The start is okay. When the money start coming in and the pension start to make money, that's when they say, I do more, you do this, among themselves. So, just be very clear your boundaries as the different directors.
I think actually the franchisees just got to know again what they are in for. So I mean, usually when the franchisees meet me at the start, it's always the best part because we are talking about the numbers, what could you make, and also I do remind them what could you lose also. So I think the franchisees got to also understand whether the franchisor is the right fit for them. So I mean, it's not I think that's about it.
Very similar to what Sydney has said. I think first thing first, I think understand why you want to do the franchise. What does it mean to own a business? What does it mean to be in a franchise system? Right? And understand whether you have the ability or the financial resources to make these things successful. Number one. The second one is to do your homework on the brand itself. right? Understand how they're making the money, understand their success factors, understand their direction. Remember when you're investing in the brand's future. It might be good right now, but you have different plans. Like so you mentioned, some of the brands have to downscale it down the road. So really understand what the brand stands for. For example, if I'm taking on Spartan Boxing Club,
Please.
yeah, I want to make it to the best boxing club, right? Build the community, give the best experience, but not going in and after 3 months later, I'm thinking, hey, maybe we should do kickboxing, right? It's a new trend or something else. So if you are going in and there's a proven formula, if you want to follow it, you keep thinking of other things. Maybe this brand itself is not suitable for you. Yeah.
Thanks for that. I just realised we're actually sitting in a boxing.
Oh yeah.
I'm quite comfortable. Pitfalls for me are almost exactly to these points. It's remembering that you're in a franchise system, and that franchisees are unique beasts in that they need to have an entrepreneurial flair, and at the same time they need to understand that they don't need to reinvent the wheel with everything, right? And so the challenge is figuring out where to direct your entrepreneurial flair and make sure that you focus on the key things that will give you wins within your business. And I think that's probably the biggest challenge or pitfall that we see is, to your point, with people come in and I've got the overheads to worry about, and oh dear, there's not enough sales, and then people can panic and lose their way very quickly. So trust the system, trust your entrepreneurial flair, but direct your energies in the right areas.
Hey, hi, just glad to come to the Franchise Opportunity Summit today by Extreme. I think this is a very good platform that bring all the franchisor-franchisee together. Rather than we have serious talk, there's a lot of casual get-together, understanding each other, a bit of exchange between the pitfall and the winning formula. Great balancing to have communications like that. A lot more to come in the future. So do join this program, right? See you.
Hi, I'm Trisha. I'm very glad to be at this event. It's a very well organized event to help aspiring entrepreneurs, potential franchisees know why they should use this model to start up their business. So I encourage more to find out from Stream as well as FLA. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Resh. I'm representing Yummy Bros. And the event has been absolutely amazing so far. I've learned a lot of insights and insightful tips from people who manage Subway, so many different brands, right? 18 Chefs, Suhaimi was amazing. So many different brands as well. So I love it. It was very insightful. I learned a lot, and you should be here as well.